Almost everyone in politics is lying to you, and almost everyone in media is lying to you. If progressives ever go 1 inch outside of what Biden and Pelosi wants, they take their head off. They're ruining unity in the party, arguing for things that 84% of Americans want.
Cenk Uygur finally gets it. He finally understands what everyone other than progressives have been trying to tell him this whole time.
You say, you know what? You've said many times that you're not like the Democrats today or the National Democratic Party. You're not like the National Republican Party. Why not just say, you know what? I'm going to be an independent. You thought about that?
Absolutely.
And he's like, I don't know. The Republicans and Democrats are on two extremes and I'm in the middle. And everybody in the media goes, oh, that's so true. Let's all lie on his behalf. Hey, every writer in the New York Times, lie out for Joe Manchin. Everybody on CNN, lie on behalf of Joe Manchin. Let's all call him a moderate when he's nowhere near a moderate, right? So he's a Democratic brand is ruined. And that's actually has some validity to it. Why is it ruined? So part of the reason why it's ruined is because, and everybody will admit this, and Republicans say it too, because the Democrats are seen as too elitist. In fact, that's the main thing Republicans say, and the main reason that why the Democratic brand is in significant trouble. It used to be the party of the average guy, workers, laborers, etc. Now it's seen as the party of elites, right?
He literally just explained why Donald Trump was elected. He calls Trump supporters crazy, but doesn't understand the whole reason that Trump was elected is because people were fed up with politicians. Whether it's Joe Manchin, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, or any of the other elitist politicians who got rich off American tax dollars and corruption, politicians like that are the elites. And that's why the media gets so upset when you disagree with anything they say. And it doesn't matter what political party you are. If you don't like what Joe Biden does or says, you're gonna get attacked for it.
Manchin goes, hey, Joe Biden, here's 85% of your agenda. I just lit it on fire. And by the way, I might even run against you for president after you gave me the Mountain Valley Pipeline. That's going to make me personally rich. Bam! And he slaps him across the face. And he goes, hey, Joe, what are you going to do about it? Sit there and bleed all day? And you know what Democratic leadership says? Not a word. So the same guys who took off progressive heads for disagreeing about 5% of stuff, when Joe Manchin destroys their policy and destroys their party, they don't say a word. Why? Think about why. I mean, if somebody did to me what Joe Manchin has done to Joe Biden, I would have a strong response. You might even say, hey, Cenk, you're overdoing it, man. Jesus Christ, right? Well, you know what Joe Biden did after they passed that watered down Inflation Reduction Act that was stripped clean by Joe Manchin? Joe Biden, that loser, handed the pen that he signed the act with to who? Joe Manchin.
I don't understand how he can make these points and not realize that's exactly why half the country started voting for an outsider. Why would a hardworking American want to vote for a politician like Joe Biden? If Donald Trump is the alternative, of course they're going to choose him. They are just fed up with the system. They are fed up with the lies, the corruption, all the greed. And Uygur's right, 84% of Americans want the same thing. But that's exactly why the politicians don't. If all the establishment politicians hate people like Donald Trump and Ramaswamy, don't you think there's a reason for that? Don't you think that people like that are a threat to their power? People that already have money and don't need to take it from taxpayers? If they already have billion-dollar businesses, why the hell would they need to steal our money? We can disagree on the policies, but until there's a Democrat that runs for office that isn't a corrupt establishment politician, no one is going to want to vote for them.
Almost everyone in politics is lying to you, and almost everyone in media is lying to you. The reality is Joe Manchin and Joe Biden totally agree. They have the same exact donors, and a lot of those donors are also shared by establishment Republicans like Mitch McConnell. They all agree they were always going to do the same thing. Give the donors exactly what they want, and the rest is theater with nothing but magic tricks and illusions.
The only candidates that the Democrats have to offer are politicians that want to tell you how to live your life. They want to force you to drive electric cars. They want to force you to wear a mask. They want to force you to take vaccines. They have full control over big tech and the media. And that's another thing. For all the countries that control their own media, why did they do it? Did they do it to benefit the citizens? Or is it done for power, control, and manipulation of their citizens? This is what should be asked of everyone that believes everything the media says. Why do they want you to believe these things? And the worst part about this is right after this segment, the Young Turks are going to go back to telling you why you should vote for Joe Biden. Despite the record high inflation, despite the pathetic foreign policy, despite the complete border crisis, and despite them acknowledging that the media has been doing Joe Biden's bidding, the Young Turks are going to go right back to doing what they do best, try and convince their audience that the alternative is somehow worse.